This is Chinmay from Makedo Clinic. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share how to convert regular wheel rim, which is good for tire tube. So I'm going to convert this by using special product which is there in the market, but I'm going to show you how to exactly do it, right? So this is Interceptor right now with me, and I'm going to convert the spoke wheel rim and going to make it suitable for tubeless tires. So we'll be working on that. So let's just check out the video.
So this is the sealing kit. It's made in Japan, Autex, and they have given everything. Best is to read the instruction manual before going for the fitment. Both the wheels are having different sealing tape, but apart from that, same material for the marking purpose and for the spokes. So let's just start with the front wheel. Guys, one more thing, the video is I have worked on right now in the video on the front wheel only, but the procedure is same for the rear wheel as well, so I haven't recorded that. And second thing, one of the part I have missed it, so I hope you guys will understand that. So I have tried my level best to show you maximum things, and the video contains two things: how to remove the front wheel of the vehicle and how to seal the wheel rim or the spoke rim. So you have to have all the appropriate spanners or the tools while removing the front wheel. If you use wrong spanner, then you may damage the fastener nut bolts. So best is to check out the nut bolts, and according to that go for the spanner. Here on the right hand side you will be requiring one Allen key socket, because the fork has got pinching bolt which is given for the front spindle, and to hold the spindle you have to use 16-17 open end spanner. You can't use anything else, it's just for the holding purpose. So main key is that having proper tools and knowing about the kit. My ramp is equipped with 3-bed system, so if you don't have, I can understand it is not necessary to have all, all are having same thing. So if you are working on the floor, make sure your vehicle is properly tied up or properly jacked up, because most of these big bikes are nose weight. So make sure vehicle is properly locked. If you have regular ramp, then make sure your vehicle is tied up to the ramp properly by using ratchet belt. So now we are going to remove caliper as well as ABS sensor and the front spindle. I have pneumatic. If you don't have pneumatic, I can understand. If you don't have, then at least use socket and the ratchet instead of going for any open end or ring spanner over here. It may damage the nut. Then you have to remove the ABS sensor. ABS sensor is very costly. Don't forget to remove the ABS sensor, because when you are removing the front wheel you may damage the surface of that from the back side. So best is to remove all those things, or electronics and the mechanical spare parts which are not required when you are removing the wheel. Also, one more thing I would like to mention, that when you are removing the wheel, front wheel, or when you are working on the bike, just keep on recording the things which you are working on, so you can use it as a guideline. So the video or the photographs can be used while reassembling. Second thing, the way you are dismantling the front wheel, the same way, reverse way, you have to assemble the front wheel, and that I have not recorded. So this is the shim. This ABS sensor has got one shim in between the fork and the sensor. Lock the sensor on the top so it won't come in the middle of your work and it won't get damaged. You have to do it very cautiously, and second thing, with great patience. This particular job requires almost 2 days. Reason is that once you are done with the job, you have to keep the vehicle off for at least 24 hours, just for checking purpose, just in case if there is any leakage or something, because it may cause an accident or something, just in case it deflates. So better to check before delivery, make sure it is roadworthy. Since going out of the box, that means there is a possibility that there may be some error, so best is to keep the vehicle off the road for 24 hours for checking purpose. As you can see, I have tied up the sensor on the same wire but on the top, so it will not now come in between my work. Now it's high time to remove the, so we will remove the caliper. This is the shim, it's very important thing. If you forget the shim, then the sensor will get damaged. It may scratch with the pole wheel or the sensor wheel. So while fitting, don't forget to reinstall the shim. Pneumatic is more convenient when you are removing, but if you are not habituated to pneumatic, then best is to use hand tools rather than power tools. I'm going to hook up the lower bolt of the caliper as it is, just to avoid the pivoting of the caliper. Now to keep it aside, the caliper you have to keep it aside, and now you are ready to go for the front wheel removal. Exact way you have to reverse the sequence of fitment of this front wheel. One more thing, as I mentioned, this is all the big bikes are mostly nose weight. In Bullet, or mostly all the Bullets are, or all the big bikes are, or the products from Royal Enfield are nose weight. So you have to secure the bike properly, make sure the bike is tied up to the ram properly. As I said that my ramp is 3 base ramp, so I can remove the front wheel without even moving the vehicle. I can still remove the rear wheel as well without moving the vehicle. Use rubber mallet or wooden mallet or plastic mallet to remove the spindle, but do not use metal hammer, which may or which will damage the spindle thread. And we have to repair. We don't have to, I mean, we are not here to damage the spare part or anything. So it will cause you only while refitting the spare. So best is to use spanners or tools which will not damage your spares. Don't forget to remove the speedo sensor and the distance space. I hope you guys will like this video. I have tried my level best to show you maximum things. Unfortunately, because of the electronic media, I lost some data, but I have tried maximum to recover and to show you over here. In steel rims, you can use this product, but it is very dicey and dangerous, since the bedding of the wheel rim in steel rims is a smaller, or the width is very small, and it has got a grip which leaks the air. So it's rarely possible to convert the regular steel rim to tubeless rim. These rims are Interceptor or old 535 has got aluminum wheel rim, so it's very easy. And second thing, the width of the bedding area is bigger than the steel rim, so it's possible to convert such wheel rims into tubeless. If you try to convert the regular spoke wheel or the steel rim, then there is a possibility, because of the small width or the bedding width, the tire may pop out of the wheel rim. So best is not to do that job. Few points are there which you will have to consider when you are fitting on the steel rim. If not feasible, then don't force yourself. So now high time to remove the tire from the wheel rim. Whenever you're working on the wheel rim, just use your old tire and keep it underneath, so which it will not damage the hub or the disc. Now we have to deflate the tire by using a valve tool. So if you have the facility to remove the tire, if you have the machine to remove the tire, then nothing like it, or just visit any tire dealer who will help you out to remove the tire on the machine. But make sure you are not using any conventional or old type of procedure. This is the valve tool to remove the valve. Make sure you are not using any old procedure to remove the tire. It may dent or it will damage the wheel rim surface, and it will cause for the air leak after converting the wheel rim. So make sure you are using proper tools and machines to work on such job. Once the air is out, then you can remove the tire on the machine. Make sure the red mark is exactly synchronizing with the valve. As I mentioned, use bedding paste and the machine for removal of tire and refitting of the tire. This is my SPM special purpose machine which I have made for static wheel balancing. So I am using the same machine for doing this job. So it will help me out to hold the job properly. Now this is the rim strip. So we don't require this wheel strip. Wheel strip is basically given for tube rims, just to avoid the leakage due to spoke heads, which can leak the tube from inside. So that is the reason they have given the rim strip, which we don't require. Reason is that now we are converting the wheel rim to the tubeless, so we'll be using no tube inside. You have to remove all the debris. You have to clean the wheel rim properly. Make sure you're making the wheel rim warm, not too much of hot, but warm, just to remove the moisture. If there is any water or moisture, then you have to make it dry, so the glue tape will stick on the surface properly. This is a very time consuming job, and of course you have to show your skill a lot. Here is the wheel rim joint. So make sure the wheel is completely dry and out of moisture for the next process. Now we have to clean both the bedding area. The center portion, which is the spoke portion or the spoke nipple portion, cannot be cleaned by using machine, but of course bedding area can be cleaned by using hand grinder, by using flywheels. Now in this case, first of all, when you're going for tube conversion, make sure the wheel is properly aligned and all the spokes are properly tight. If you don't know how to do that, then just get it done from professional. He will help you out to complete this job, and then only work on the wheel rim. Now we have to remove all the debris from bedding area as well as from the center area. For this we'll be using first of all chemical, degreaser or something, or alcohol or spirit, but do not use petrol or gasoline or diesel, because it leaves the oily surface on the top. You have to keep on cleaning properly, and important thing is that you have to use dry cloth, cotton cloth, and not used cloth. If you use used cloth, then it will again leave the oily surface. So best is to use proper cotton cloth. Use chemicals to clean the surface. Well, these are the steps which I have used. If you have something else in your mind, then up to you. Nothing like it. If you have something better than this, then nothing like it. All what we need is that the work has to be perfect, so it will not deflate the tire when you're riding the bike. Clean properly, so there will be no residue of anything. Cleaning is important than sticking the glue tape, because it's very easy. I mean, sticking the glue tape is more easy than the cleaning. If you don't clean the area or the surface properly, then the glue tape may come off and you cannot rework on that. That glue tape is a very special tape which is made for metal surface. So as you can see, this is the surface which we have to clear. So I'm going to use abrasive flywheel and the polishing flywheel later on. So first is the abrasive flywheel, which I'm going to hook up with my hand grinder. Make sure you know how to use the hand grinder, otherwise just get it done from the professional. So the key point of this job, that you have to have all the proper tools and machines with you to complete the job. So now I'm going to clean the beading area, center portion of the rim, that is whether the spokes are fitted. That cannot be cleaned by using these flywheels, because the surface is not it's an uneven surface, and because of the spoke heads and the spoke nipples, you cannot use the flywheel over there. So use the flywheel only for the beading area. Clean it thoroughly. First of all, abrasive wheel, then again clean it thoroughly, then use polishing wheel. Check for the marks, check for the dents, check for the cuts, check for the debris, check for the uneven surface. You have to keep on doing this until you feel that the surface is proper and good to go for the next process or the next step. If you have facility, then you can do the wheel balancing also later on. I will be uploading wheel balancing process later on. So before fitting the wheel on the motorcycle, you also must go for the wheel balancing if it requires. Clean it thoroughly. Make sure there is nothing on the beading surface. Don't use grinding wheel, it will damage the wheel rim. So just use abrasive and the polishing wheel. These vehicles are having tubeless tire only, but due to the spoke rim, they have given tube inside the wheel. Use the chemical again for cleaning purpose, and then dust it off, or just clean it off by using cotton cloth. Also don't forget to use air. So last step is air wash. As I mentioned, I have lost some of the data, so I couldn't show you over here, but make sure you are cleaning it thoroughly and make sure it is absolutely dry for the fitment purpose. While cleaning, check everything, check the surface. I have done this repeatedly to check the all the points, because once we stick the glue, I mean the glue tape, then you can't come back and you can't re-clean it. So just make sure everything is proper in shape. Realignment is very much important, which I have showed you. If you know, then fine. If you don't know, then get it done from professional. So now it's high time to go for the kit fitting. Air wash is important. You can see the surface is clean. You have to clean it as much as possible. I'm not saying 100%, which you cannot do, because the rim which is coming from the company has got very deep dents somewhere, so it's impossible to remove or clean the surface till the dents or the till that depth. So this is the glue tape. It has got one green color protective tape on the surface, so it's kind of a dual type of sticking tape or glue tape. You have to calculate, you have to make sure you're fitting the glue tape properly. So mark the wheel rim on the both side, on the both edge of the center portion. So while it is like a guideline for you to fix up the glue tape, also they have given marking tape, so it will guide you while sticking the tape. So now I'm just going to use my black marker. These all things are basically for the reference purpose or guideline, so you can fix up the glue tape and the sealing tape properly. There is only one flaw which I found, that for the front wheel they have given very small glue tape and the sealing tape. They could have given little bit of like 5 mm extra in width, because as you can see those spokes are very much, or spoke heads are very much near to the curvature area where the glue tape cannot be, you cannot stick the glue tape over there. So that's the only one flaw which I found while working on this project. The rear wheel has got a proper tape, but still they could have given little extra tape in width. So as you can see on the left hand side, I have marked one line on the edge of the curve. Same way you have to draw line on the right side as well. So this is a guideline for sticking the marking tape. Well, this is my way to work on this project. If you have some better idea, then you can do it. But cleaning is important, that's the main key point. The kit is very costly, so you have to have proper tools and machines and knowledge, or you have to have some good points in your head to do the job. So marking line I have done with the marking line. Now we have to go for the marking tape. Marking tape you have to remove later on once you are done with the job, because you don't require that, it's not for the sealing purpose. They have given ample marking tape as well, so no need to worry that will it is it sufficient for second wheel or not. Everything is ample apart from the width of the tape. Stick it on the surface properly so it will be in line. I go according to the line which we have marked. Also make sure you have a proper cutting tool or the sharp knife or the sharp cutter to cut the tape. Do not just cut the tape by stretching it off. Don't try to tear off, just cut it off properly. They have given gloves, that's a good thing. So if your hands are oily, then it will not damage the surface of the wheel rim when you are applying the glue tape. You have to do very slowly. Patience is important. So use the sharp knife or the sharp edge cutter to cut the tape. Same way you have to apply on the second side. So second side is also like that. Stick it properly so it will mark properly and it will be visible for you while working on that. If you don't have the green tape, then you can use yellow or something, but you have to use dark color, which will guide you, which will be visible properly when you are working. We are about to complete this job. Now we have done the marking, proper marking to stick the tape, the glue tape first, not the sealing tape. Sealing tape is just a main tape which is going to stick it on, which we have to stick it on the glue tape. Use cutter. Don't use scissor and don't try to tear off. It may get stretched, so better not to. So here we have done with the job. Again, just clean it off, just in case if you feel that there is some debris or something. You can air wash also. So these are the dimples which they have given for spoke heads or the spoke nipples. These dimples or the stickers are not having very high quality. You can say that it doesn't have that kind of adhesive. If you are thinking that it will stick to the surface tightly, because they have given that deliberately, so the spoke can be tightened later on after sticking the glue tape, but the adhesive is enough for sticking purpose, because this will stick to main glue tape later on, so it doesn't require very high grade adhesive over here. It is just temporary until you complete the sticking of glue tape on the surface. So this is given when, if there is any problem with the wheel rim, if the wheel rim is bent or something, then you can retight the wheel rim or wheel spokes properly, and you can realign the spokes without removing the kit. That's the reason this one has got very less amount of sticky adhesive. So I'm not saying it is a fault or something, or they could have given or something like that. It is a perfect calculation for such job. You have to stick it on each nipple or the spoke nipple. Once you are done, then only you can go ahead. Here you don't have to worry about the leakage, because this is not given to avoid the air leak. It is just given to tightening the spokes. Same way you have to complete all the spokes. You have to check everything, you have to clean everything, you have to press it properly. Don't scrub the surface once you have have applied this dimples on the top. Don't scrub the surface a lot, otherwise it will come off. As I mentioned, adhesive is not too high or too sticky. Just clean it off properly and then start applying the glue tape, but make sure it is like stuck on the surface, otherwise later on you will have problem. There is a process, and there is a tip what they have given in the instruction manual, that from where to start the gluing the tape. So I have done according to that. I have avoided the valve hole and I have avoided the spoke the nipple start. I have I have started gluing the tape in between two spokes. So this is the hologram what they have given for the branding purpose, of course. So let's just stick it that also on the surface, so it is like it's a brand logo. I have applied in between two spokes only. Glue tape also I'm going to apply from between two spokes, away from the valve hole and in between two spokes. It's a two-way, so first surface will be like covered by protective tape. This is the valve hole. Either you can stick here or here or here. So I'm going to use third spoke. So now we'll start applying the glue tape on the surface, on the center side of the wheel rim. I'm going to keep the protective layer on the top as it is, because the sealing tape will be there later on, but while working I'm not going to imprint my fingerprints on the top, so the glue tape will not get damaged. So better to keep it as it is. As I said that this is the center of two spokes. This is to avoid the leakage from spoke head, and then start sticking the tape in between. As you can see, as I mentioned that they could have given 5 mm little extra, so this is what happening. So you have to be very careful while sticking the glue tape on the surface, because spoke heads are not exactly in the center, they are very much near to the curvature of the wheel rim. Both the tapes are different for the sealing and for the gluing purpose. Both are having different width, for according to the wheel rim, but still we need little extra in width, because the curvature is very much near to the spokes. If it wasn't, then this width is enough, but it's not like that. So this is the only drawback of this kit. So I have to be very much careful while applying the glue tape in the center. So now we are ended up by joining the tape at the starting point. Now make sure you are not using scissor over here, you are using sharp edge cutter only. Second thing, you should not use scissor over here, since it may get stretched, the tape may get stretched. So best is not to use anything else. You have to cut over there only at the same point where you have stuck the glue, or you have glued the tape. It has got elasticity, so make sure you have done the cutting properly, so it will not get stretched. Now once you are done with this, then you have to use blunt scraper or something, or blunt brush, or the wiper, or what you use for car filming, to stick it properly on the surface. So I'm going to use blunt. Blunt is just because to avoid the cutting of the glue tape, so make sure it is blunt. And you have to make sure you have pressed the tape properly on the surface. This is how you have to clean, stick the tape on the surface. It's not that hard, but it's not that easy as well. So you have to learn this by reading the instruction manual at first place. Although some points you may feel that not mentioned, but then you have to you will have to judge that while working. which is hard because you can't reverse the process. That's the reason I have made this video, so you guys can understand better way. As I mentioned earlier, that don't get the vehicle immediately on the road, so keep it aside for at least 24 hours just to understand whether it is deflating or not. Make sure the edge is completely sealed and show the center surface after applying the glue tape. You will see some air at this spoke head, but that's fine, which you cannot remove by any chance. Now you have to make sure you have cutted the valve hole properly, that I will show you, but first let me just complete this job. Sealing job is important. Although they have given everything, so keep on checking if there is any flop from your side. Make sure the scraper or the brush is also oil free, otherwise you cannot apply the sealing tape properly. So as you can see, it's quite flat, properly glued to the surface. As you can see the wrinkles on the top of that tape, because it's a safety tape which we'll be removing later on while putting the sealing tape on the top of glue tape. So here is the only one point which I am missing in this video, that because of the media damage I couldn't record a lot, but still I have tried to explain you over here. So after checking, now we have to go for the valve hole. So for the valve hole you will have to use only sharp cutter. You cannot just use anything like screwdriver or something and poke it off, but best is to use cutter. You have to cut the glue. Don't press it from inside to outside. Number one, it may come off. Don't press it from outside to inside as well by using any screwdriver or something. Just use the cutter to cut it off, and use the existing hole which is given for the valve hole on the rim to to guide the hole. It will help you to cut the hole properly. The glue tape is very hard to cut, so you have to be very patient in that. Be careful, don't cut yourself. So you have to cut exactly according to the hole, so the valve can go through the hole properly. Because if you keep anything if you cut extra, then also there is a possibility of leakage. So make sure the hole is proper. Don't use any drill or something, just use cutter. If you have something else to cut it off, then nothing like it, but since it has got elasticity, as I told you, so cutting is the only option which I found. So this is the valve hole. The perfect valve hole. So now here just check the valve if it is going properly inside. Valve has got seals. This is the sealing tape, and the sealing tape has got the hole. They have already provided the hole. So you have to stuck the valve through the sealing tape, so it will not move when you are fitting the tape properly on the surface. Also, the joint will be coming in between two spokes only automatically. According to that only they have made the valve hole. Here is the only one problem that I have missed the video. This is how you have to put the tape. and you have to tighten the valve, of course, but not permanently, temporary, because you have to remove that again if you have forgotten any seal or something. And for the sticking purpose, you don't need the valve later on. So first, for tucking purpose, you need the valve. The joint will come in between two spokes. Also, what I have done over here, that glue tape joint is opposite to the sealing tape joint. So this is how it will go in the valve hole. So valve is basically the tool to hold the tape, in short. I'm just going to tighten the valve temporarily. While putting the sealing tape, you have to peel off this safety tape or the safety green tape, which is applied on the glue tape. This has to be done simultaneously. No need to remove the green tape completely from or off the wheel rim. You have to do it simultaneously. I'll show you what exactly I have done over here. This is how you have to tuck the valve on the wheel rim. And once you stick the sealing tape on the surface, just press it properly and clean it properly. Make sure the tape is sealed properly or glued on the glue tape or the sticking tape properly, and remove the marking tape as well. As you can see, I have used chemical. No need to worry because it's already now sealed, so chemical will not show its side effect on the tape. It is just for the cleaning purpose. I have used over here a blunt scraper or the brush, rubber brush, to stick it properly or to surface it properly. Now remove the valve and put this. As you can see, this is the joint of sealing tape, which is opposite to the glue tape, and that is also in between two spokes. So reinstall the valve by removing, since if you have forgotten any spare part which belongs to the valve only, so you can fix it up properly. Once you are done with the valve fitting, proper valve fitting, make sure the valve is tight. As you can see, as I have told you, that the width they could have given little extra, since it is coming exactly near to the edge of the spokes. Check it thoroughly before going for the tire fitting. So after completion of this job, apply tire beading paste on the side edge. Don't apply any oil or something or any other chemical. Just apply tire beading paste only, and make sure you are fitting the tire on the machine only. Do not use conventional type or process to remove or to fit the tire. It will damage the wheel rim. It may damage the seal also. So make sure you are using proper tools and machines. After fitting, make sure the red dot is absolutely synchronizing with the valve, and then you are good to go.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I hope you have got the actual information how to fix up the this conversion kit and what things you have to understand when you are working on this. So thanks for watching and have a